welcome to your nice and bright Tuesday morning. It's your boy FRE, $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. Man, I should have got some water because my throat is a little parched, pause. Welcome to Jeep Talk, episode 55. They always remember the first longer than they remember the greatest. Michael Jordan, LeBron, Drake, Jay-Z, Lauryn Hill, shoot, name anybody. Except for the Houston. Yeah. But one thing I realized, being in just living and being in like the content creator space for so long consistently, is that a lot of people fight for that right now hit, that right now vibe. Whether it's basketball, who's hot right now, football, who's hot right now, music, who's hot right now. But when you initiate something, when you're the starter of something, your dominance is it goes on forever. Let's start with the first example I gave you: LeBron, Michael Jordan. It's always going to be a debate just because people like competition. It's healthy as long as you use facts. It's healthy as long as you don't get upset. But there's always going to be debate who's the greatest of all time: Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. Because Michael Jordan was the first person that was ever put on the atmosphere of this top basketball celebrity at the rank that Michael Jordan was on: sneakers, endorsements, and his game, his stats may not be as high as LeBron's, but he will always be remembered more than LeBron. That's why I always say LeBron is the best basketball player ever. Michael Jordan is going to be the greatest basketball player ever remembered for the rest of the time. And there's two, and that's the way that it can be separate. You can't, because the statistics match that. But the thing is that you do have to stay consistent in order to still be remembered. A lot of people, I got watch a lot of videos. Like I was watching a lot the other day, and a lot of people, and this is going to be a reoccurring thing on my show, in my conversations, that a lot of people don't do research. So when they speak, they speak as if I'm the first to ever do something. They're the first to ever do something. And it's like, well, there's a bunch of other examples of people that's doing what they do. But again, the person who's remembered the most is the one who did it first. And the one, as long as they stay consistent. I got to add that part. As long as they stay consistent. Because if you did it first and you only got a one-hit wonder, they're not going to remember you. That's why, even though people do laugh at Soulja Boy, sometimes, Soulja Boy has a valid point when he says, yo, I was the first person with this whole social media type trend, and he will be remembered as such. Because as you go back, as far as artist-wise, of course, there was probably locals that did it. We're just talking about somebody who hit a certain point, like a certain point to of quote-unquote success or notability, a certain point. Like, you could have been the first with something. What's going on, Kalei Guy in the building? What up? You could have been the first or something. But if you didn't hit a certain echelon with what you were doing, then it kind of doesn't even count. Because if a tree falls in the woods and nobody sees it, did it really make a sound? And again, I always tell people no, because it only makes a sound if you can prove it. Regardless if you know every time a tree falls in the wood, it makes a sound. If you can't prove it, it didn't happen. That's the world we live in, and that's the world that to me is acceptable. A lot. What the heck? This traffic is crazy right now, y'all. A lot of people are so. A lot of people are so determined to either just make money or get clout, that in this era there are not a lot of first anymore. There are not a lot of first anymore, because if you're the first to do something, you're not going to normally get as much acclimate in this era, because everyone wants to be, I think, not everyone, let's not say everyone, the majority of people want to be followers in this era. This is my opinion. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm just saying it as my opinion. We are currently living in an era, young, the YNs, the ONs, the OGs, where everyone wants to either be so famous or they want to be so wealthy that they are not trying to invent something new. They're not trying to invent a new wheel. They're not being creative. They're not being pushing the limit to, well, people might not like this. People might like this. Instead, what they're doing is they're finding a trend that works, and they're just going with it over and over and over again. You need an example? Let me give you an example. Pop the Balloon. Pop the Balloon was a game show, a dating game show on YouTube that a woman and a husband created. People realized how, well, even before Pop the Balloon, pause, let me go back. Even before Pop the Balloon, 20 versus 1 was a dating thing where there would be 20 women or 20 men or 20 different people, and one person choosing from that 20. When the first creator who created that went viral, who was creative, after that, it was like a year of 20v1s, at least a year and a half of 20v1s. Why? Because we're living in a generation that no longer wants to be the first. They just want the money and the clout. The majority. I only speak on the majority because, you know, I'm speaking on what I see, and everyone is not going to be the same. So, and these comments will never fit everyone, but the majority of people it will fit. Whether or not this is a good or bad thing, you can decide for yourself. I don't believe in good or bad, right or wrong. I just believe in what the majority of people agree upon and what's reality. Reality based on facts, stuff you can prove. And so the 20v1 trend went for about a year and a half, and then Pop the Balloon came up. And as Pop the Balloon came up, like shout out to Benito Suarez says, the algorithm started, and again, as the Pop the Balloon started to come up and the 20v1 was still going, the algorithms, or meaning the way that different platforms like Instagram or YouTube push its viewership to what's popular worked. Anything that was new and trending would get overshadowed by the 20v1s, by the Pop the Balloons. They started getting creative. They went the kid 20v1, the old guy 20v1, the booty bandit 20v1, the celebrity 20v1, the Pop the Balloons. Now that Pop the Balloon goes on Netflix, we are at the point where we are losing. I feel as though we are losing that creative that we once had. I think it is partially because when people struggle, money becomes the most important thing. That's why I say, for me, my channel was never about getting money. It was never about getting clout. It was always about telling my story. Because if you have a channel where you're focused on getting money, then you have to acquiesce to what it takes to get money. And acquiescing to what it takes to get money in this era means not being creative. It means following the trend. It means repeating and recopying or reacting to content that is popular already. Now, again, it's not a good or bad thing. It's not me downing people for doing it. I'm just pointing out the obvious thing that is happening right now. How I don't really know, and it's gonna get a little fuzzy right here because this is the part where I'm going through the woods and stuff. So if you're watching now, it'll get fuzzy. If you're watching in the future, it'll probably get fuzzy for a while and cut to when it's clean again. All right, we back, y'all. We back. I don't believe that this can be changed unless the money starts getting no. I don't believe this can be changed, because when the money starts changing to another, I'm back. I want to say it's always been like this. but I don't feel like in my lifetime it's always been like this. Jay Brash, what up, what up, what up? I don't feel like it's always been this pause deep into people just wanting to react to what's popular already, or just wanting to copy or imitate or duplicate what is trending right now. I don't think we've ever been at this point because I think, well, yes, we have. I always related to hip hop. Let me tell you why I always related to hip hop as far as the content creation world. I always relate the content creation world to hip hop because I think the trajectory is the same. Trajectory meaning when hip hop started. Now, whether you believe it was a good or bad thing, hip hop was all about telling your story. It was all about talking about your either success or your struggle. It was a little bit more nice. Who got the nicest car? Who got the best women? Hip hop began to change, and who get the most money? Hip hop began to change. I think that has been happening in YouTube as far as YouTube content creation, where which video has the most views, which video goes viral, versus people putting out stuff that's of quality. Now, you'll hear a lot of people complaining about this. I will never complain because I understand that quality is going to last the test of time. And I believe Drake said this on one of Drake's fathers said this on one of his intros for the videos. I think Pound Cake or something like that. Where he's like, good music is going to always last. All the others is here today and going tomorrow. Like, it's just a cycle that continues to repeat itself. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, but it's definitely a cycle that repeats itself with people are no longer being created. They no longer want to be the first. Most people, a majority of people, no longer want to be the first because the first person has to take the most time to develop something. They have to spend the most money to develop something. They have to do the most promotion to develop something. For example, when I created the Black Man Guide to World Travel, there was nothing similar to it. Nothing on YouTube. Nothing in the content creator space. There was nothing similar to it. When I created the Black Man's Guide, somebody who was give you a direct experience without the trying to be PG so it goes viral, or being extra uncensored so you can't. Somebody who found that balance between. Of course, when parabolic, when it went viral, a lot of people kind of followed the trend, and I think that's dope. And they put their own little niche to it, which added their own little creative to it. Got to take it down. I was able to maneuver to other stuff, like maneuver over to snacks, or do walking videos, or do stuff like outside of what I already knew was going to work. Because overall, I grew up in a time where creativity was key. You had to be creative in the 80s and 90s and in 2000. You had to be creative. The reason why 50 Cent ended up blowing up when everybody else was coming up is because he was creative. He was one of the first people who really took the beef thing and really shot it to the moon. His whole first album was based on something that happened to him because of the beef, and he took that and he did something that no one else had done prior to him. I'm back. Oh, it's not. As I look around the scene, no one else makes drone videos in well, at least in the community that I frequent. And I don't understand. I'm like, but you guys know it's a chance at one time they might end these drones. They might stop people from being able to fly drones. So wouldn't you want to be one of the first to initiate that? No, okay. Interviews with locals and when the places you go. Again, one of the first that did that. I got videos from 2017 with me doing interviews with people in the place. to this day, there's still not a lot of people that does interviews to really get to talk to the people of where they go places. Again, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm pointing out is that the person who is the first to do something will always be remembered more and remember longer than the people who follow. I think that they'll always remember LeBron James because LeBron James, in his own right, has been the first to do a lot. The first to reach a certain number of points. The first to a number of winning games. The first to bring his son into the basketball league. The first. LeBron has a lot of firsts. So I think, me personally, I think LeBron will become as great in people's eyes, or if not greater, because of the things he does on and off the court, than Jordan will be in the future. Not right now, but in the future. But it's only because he has first. We're living in a place now where the creativity isn't there. So I'm not sure if there will be any more first. Just to think, if you could think of what trends, if you're just walking in, this is Jeep Talk, episode 55. The person who does it first is remembered longer than the person who's the greatest. Who's the best at it, rather. Shout out to Jay Clyde. Salute. Shout out to Jay Clyde of Brazil. If y'all haven't already, check out Jay Clyde video. He just did a dope live on the beach of Brazil yesterday. I haven't been to Brazil since 2016, but I did see John Thompson. Shout out to John Thompson, one of the first people, if not the first brother to really boost Brazil. If I'm wrong, maybe you guys can correct me in the future, but I don't know a person who has been showing, quote unquote, promoting, or going to Brazil and making change longer than John Thompson. John Thompson is about 80, I think he said 87, 88, and he's been going to Brazil since he left the water in New York. So again, his name will last longer to the majority of people. Now, the newcomers might not know John Thompson, right? The newcomers to Brazil might not know John Thompson. But because he was the first, the people who are the idols of the newcomers, they all know John Thompson. And that's what I said when I keep saying it, being the first will make your legacy last longer than being the best. And I mean, some people don't understand, but I guess with time you'll always be able to see. You'll always be able to see. Things change, but I really believe that we are watching. I keep saying it. I believe that we are watching the repeat of what happened in hip hop. Is it a good or bad thing? It depends on what side you fall. I don't think it's a good or bad thing, but it just, to be able to see it in real time. I wasn't there. I had to watch hip hop. I had to watch hip hop go through this transition from videos and stuff. Because I was born in '84, so I didn't really understand when I was born. It was going through this whole transition and stuff. I had to watch hip hop from watching old videos like the Color of America and books and stuff. But I'm in real time experiencing and watching how the content creation world is completely doing the exact same thing that hip hop did. And it's except the only difference is that in hip hop it was the gangsters and the money talk and the women talk that changed everything. In content creation, it's the silly, non-serious, prankster, overly wild and reckless. And I'm not speaking that down on it, because again, it's not a good or bad thing. So I don't want anybody to think I'm speaking down on it. I'm just pointing out what is actually occurring. For example, streaming is really big right now. And I got an announcement coming up August 1st, y'all. I got an announcement coming up August 1st. So y'all be tuned in. 2 announcements, actually. Streaming is really big right now. I've been streaming. First of all, I started streaming back in like 2012 when I was streaming video games. I started doing IRL, what they consider IRL streams or live streams when you're outside walking around in about 2017 or 2019. One of the two. I think one of the first ones I did was I was on the beach interviewing a woman in the Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana. And I think that was like 2019 or 2017. Streaming is big now. But when you watch a lot of streaming, the ones that go viral are the ones where a lot of wild, crazy things go on. But the craziest thing is that while streaming is blowing up, you don't see streaming channels blowing up that are not doing stuff that's already been out there or crazy stuff. Like you're not gonna see many streaming channels blow up unless you got somebody acting wild and crazy. Like and wild and crazy could be relatively objective. But let's say unless a person is quote unquote crashing out, a channel won't go viral for the most part. I plan on showing that there's a different way. Not to say it's a better way or a worse way. I plan on showing that there's a different way, and it's gonna be real soon. Again, August 1st, I'll make the announcement. But being the first to go viral on you or go viral from streaming by crashing out, it leads on to a crazy pattern where everyone that comes after you has to top that. Pause. Top that meaning if I'm on live stream and I'm driving recklessly on live stream and everybody's watching that. Now the next person that comes up and drive recklessly might not get as many views. But so what they'll have to do is they'll have to top that. They'll have to drive recklessly and hit a cone. Oh, he hit a cone. And then the next person that tries to drive recklessly and hit a cone, he might not get or she might not get as many views. So now they gotta drive recklessly naked and then hit a cone. And it just keeps going. How can you top that? There's no creativity of something new. It's just how can we top the last person but doing the exact same thing. That's just the world we live in, y'all. Again, welcome to Jeep Talk episode 55. Being the first will have you remember longer than being the best or being the greatest, as long as you stay consistent. I know it's a little bit and we talked about it for a while, y'all. I know it's a little bit unfair because again, if somebody has to do something, if somebody needs money, then you can't be mad at them for whatever they do to make money. You could, but it wouldn't make any sense to be mad at somebody who needs money and they're willing to do anything for money. Who are you to judge that person who's willing to do anything for money? I think that's the biggest thing even in the travel community, or whether the black travel community right now. I think the biggest thing is that a lot of people are so judgmental and they think that their way is the only way and the right way, that they'll knock somebody who might, for example, I was just watching his name is it's Tall and something. His name is Tall and something. White guy named Tall and something. So I forgot his channel name. And I was watching it because I'm going to Cali. I'm going back to Cali soon, and he has videos in Cali. In the videos, he made a video about him sleeping with a transgender woman. His video was like my first date with a transgender woman. Now, that's something that's going to go viral, and I think it's something that did go viral. I think he got like 300,000 views in less than a couple months. Now, I'm not judging. I would never judge anybody for doing what they plan on doing. That's not something I would do. But I'm not going to knock him because he used the virality of sleeping with a transgender woman to grow his channel. That's just what he did. I mean, he has other content that's really good. He speaks the language, and he has a lot of other content that's really good. But in his creativity and his desire to, whether it's, maybe that's his real life, but whether it's go viral or whether it's get money, he slept with a transgender woman, went on a date with her, and from what I see, he is a straight guy. He has some amazing other women that's women in Cali and women in different parts of Colombia, but he was willing to go that far. I'm not saying this because of the money or the fame, because I don't know him. But what I'm saying is that just because some of us aren't willing to go that far to push the limit doesn't mean that we're better than the people who do. So maybe they're just the first because it's acceptable for them, and for us it isn't because of how we grew up. But again, y'all, it's crazy because I think that's one of the big. I mean, that could have probably been this Jeep Talk too, where judgment could have been like the biggest thing that could be harming the different communities as content creators right now. Because again, just because I don't do technically what people consider creep camming videos doesn't mean that it's not a good thing. It's not they don't have the right to do it. And when I hear that, it's like, damn. We are some of the most judgmental people in the world. We just are, y'all. It's crazy. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's reality, y'all. It's just reality. But we almost at the job now, y'all. I just wanted to get this Jeep Talk off because, like I said, I was watching videos and I'm looking as I'm looking, I'm like, dang. A lot of these people who were popping for the moment aren't around anymore. There's a lot of YouTube content creators who are really known for the moment that aren't around anymore. And when I say they aren't around anymore, I mean they're either not pushing out content or they're pushing out content and none of their videos are going anywhere near it was before. Now, again, it's a difference when you're just living your life and you're trying. But there's a lot of, and just trying to go viral, there was a lot of YouTube creators who weren't really creative as far as creating their own stuff, who were just refurbishing everything that somebody else did, and they're no longer around because I think long term you got to be more creative than just following what's trending right now. If your content is only to impress, or if you create content, is my opinion. If you create content to that you only create content that you think your audience will like, then your creativity is going to get lost, and eventually your audience will lose interest, and your audience won't grow. It is better to me to try out new stuff, be more creative. Oh, shucks, clutched out for y'all. It is better to me to. Oh, a second. My fault. You clutched down and clutched down. It is better to me to be creative, try new stuff rather than trying to appease your audience. Yes, you can be entertaining when you're creating content, but if all you're doing is trying to appease your audience, you're not showing as a travel community, if you're not showing the inclusive travel of the countries you go to, and all you're trying to do is appease your audience, and your audience just wants to see you go to restaurants. They don't want to see you go anywhere else. They just want to see you go to restaurants. What's going to happen is that, one, you're not going to grow. You're going to be stagnated. You're not going to grow. And I'm not talking about subscriber count. I'm talking about you're not going to grow as a person. You're not going to grow as maybe views, and you're also not going to grow as more people knowing who you are and knowing what you're the message that you're trying to put across. Yeah, man. And again, if you're just doing it for the money, maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe that doesn't matter to everybody. If you're just doing it for the money. And there's nothing wrong with doing it for the money. I would never talk down on anybody doing it any other way. But for me, I don't think that's a good long-term strategy because again, there's a lot of people who made a lot of money real fast on YouTube. A lot of people who made a lot of money real fast on YouTube, and now their channels either not there, they got deleted, they did something to push the limit, and now they're not monetized. There's just so many examples of 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 what people are doing now, meaning going bad. There are so many examples of what people are doing now going bad. Like a person had found a trend, it went topic, and they had to keep like outdoing or outshining anybody else in that trend, so they started getting more crazier. For example, a person finds out that putting a woman on YouTube will get you more views. So originally they started with just them on the thing. Now they put more women on it. Now it's not working anymore. So they got to put 2 women on. Now that's not working anymore. So now the women got to dance. So now the women got to curse and say stuff. Now the women got to take their clothes off. Now the women got to be very sexual. And then they get to the level where, hey, YouTube's like, wait a minute, when you hit this level, we're going to smack you. And they're like, nah, I'm getting all these people. I'm growing. I'm getting all these people. I'm doing all this stuff. People love me. I'm going viral. And then they do something like, you know what? I'm just going to have a flash of chest. She flashed the chest. They shoot up. Their subscribers shoot up. And then boom. The company that their video is on smacks them down. And now they're starting from the scratch. You don't have to think long term. You can be for the quick money. But it's not a long-term plan. And I think I really don't know anybody who just wants to be on YouTube short term. I don't know anybody who just want to be on YouTube short term. I be seeing, how much time I got left? I got like 3 minutes. I be seeing so many people like new creators. I see a lot of new creators and I watch them as they go through the process. And like, I watch them as they go through the process. They start creating videos. They start to see that, what people like. They start seeing that the women is attracting it. And then they start realizing, dang, there's a consequence if I still live in the country or if I frequent the country, there's a consequence to putting the women on camera and having them in a certain light. So now I see a lot of content creators starting to say, you know what? I'm just going to show myself. I'm not going to show women as much because a lot of people don't at least try to plan out all the way. Like even though I put a lot of women on my channel, I understand there's a limit or there's a limit to what I can show of the woman in order to keep this consistent and it not backfire when I go back to Brazil or when I go back to Colombia or when I go back to Costa Rica. There's a limit that you have to set. Now you can pass that limit and you get more notoriety, but then you have uncomfortable issues in the different countries. And I think there's a lot. As I watch, and I'm like, damn, the YouTube guy, he's doing all this with women. He's getting views. People are liking it. They're doing that, but he not really understanding what that's going to cause in the long run. And as you start to see it come up, it's like, damn. And you just hope that maybe some creators don't like get hit by the company. You know what I mean? It's so crazy because I see it, y'all. I see it. But again, when you're the first, you're able and you plan out, you're able to still be consistent because you know what works, what doesn't work, and what will get you in trouble, what won't get you in trouble. My snack videos are still up. Yes, y'all heard that right. It's not on the membership. My snack videos are still up. There's a reason why my snack videos are still up, where I'm able to have women dancing on there, and then I can still go back to that same place and not have any issues. There's a reason. It's just something with becoming the first, you start to see stuff. But it's also understanding, I can go parabolic, I can go viral. But if I go viral, that comes with some consequences. Or I can slowly grow and just take it away where I can still show some of the stuff, but slowly grow. And right now, everybody just wants to go viral. Everybody just wants to go viral. And then when the consequences come, like, oh, you went viral with, for example, you went viral with just long form content, right? just long form content you went viral with. But now the corporation doesn't want to work with you because you don't have any shorts that has hit a certain number, and you don't have both even thing. With shorts is what they're trying to fight to get more people from TikTok or get more people from Instagram. Cool. Or you just got all shorts and you got no long form content. Now the advertisers are like, well, we don't really want to promote on this page because people are only watching it for like 20 seconds on average. It's just so many. Shout out to V Swells to travel in the building. We about to end this live soon. Yeah, we got like 1 minute, 2 minutes. Let me roll this window up. Hold up. It's just a lot of people don't understand that. Well, welcome to Jeep Talk episode 55. The first to do something always lasts longer than the person who's the best or the person who's the greatest. The first to do something always lasts longer than who's the first and the greatest. Because a lot of times, people who are the greatest, they're doing stuff that ends up putting them in a bad predicament. A lot of people don't. Some people don't see the consequences that come when you put certain content out until it's too late. I got put a content out with a woman, and on the video I'm kissing her, and then on the video I'm making her look like she's all over me and being hypersexual, and then I go back to the country, and now I don't want to mess with this woman no more. I want to mess with another woman, and this woman gets offended, so now she reports all your videos. Or this woman gets offended, so now she's showing up to where she knows you're going to be at, and she's turning all the other women around for you. Some people don't see those consequences. And then some people see those consequences and still take it. And then when the risks come, woe is me. When the consequences come, woe is me. I shouldn't have to go through this. And they got to change the channel. That's just how life is. But the people who do it first, they're going to be able to be able to keep producing content, keep consistent, because they know and they've seen it time and time over again when it happens. Like I said, I love watching new content creators, yo. Like I said, I watch YouTube more than anybody. I love watching new content creators. But the issue, I see them doing the exact same thing that gets other ones in trouble because of the fame or because they want the money. And you just gotta watch, man. Yo, what up, man? All right. Hey, yo, y'all working or y'all just walking today? I mean, hold on, y'all. Oh, yo, what's up? That's cool. Yo, what up? Yo, NASDAQ. All right, y'all. What's going on, Nomad? Viral definitely does you a disservice if not played right. Big facts. They got no ices in there? That's exactly what I tell people all the time. I say the worst thing you can do as a creator is go viral and you don't have any content on your channel, or go viral for some Calamanito. Or you can go. The worst thing you can do as a hold on, how much time I got? I got like 3 minutes. Hold on. Before I punch in, hold on. Miss Montgomery. Buen día, señor. Hey, the worst thing you can do, and we got like 3 minutes time. The worst thing you can do as a content creator is go viral before you have anything on your channel. That's one of the worst things you can do, because now you're going to try to chase that viral high every video you do. And the videos are not most likely going to hit that, and people will get bored, and you may not get the opportunity again. The second reason is why the worst thing you can do is go viral from when you start, or go viral for the wrong thing, or the wrong thing for you. It's never a wrong or right thing, but the wrong thing for you is that now people only see you for that. And if that's not who you truly are, if that's just somebody you're either pretending to be or somebody you're choosing to be for the views or for the money, you have to continue that, or people won't watch. Again, it's so many lessons I've learned just watching others. Like I said, smart people learn from the mistakes. Wise people learn from the mistakes of others. There's so many things I've learned from the mistakes of other people on YouTube, just doing it over and over again, that I was able to catch myself before making those mistakes. What's going on, Kanji?
Thank you.
All right. Somebody you can knock on the door.
How are you?
All right.
Hello.
So again, y'all, like if there's any new content creators out here watching this video in the future, I would say just make sure you look at the people who's still around. Look at the first people who did it first, because the people who did it first and are still around now are thriving. might be the people you want to watch to make sure you don't go down the wrong path, that have you in a predicament you don't want to be. It's your boy FRE, $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And I'll see you on the next video. This has been Jeep Talk episode 45. People always remember the first to do it longer than they remember the people who did it the best. Peace.